for the last card, this is actually my favorite of the series here. So what we're going to be doing is we are actually going to be making a folded shadow box type of card, but this is a different kind. I actually saw this idea, a customer brought this idea in. I just thought it was so cool. So we're going to be kind of playing around with this concept. So very first thing we're going to do is we're going to fussy cut out our little mouse. As I cut out the little mouse, you're actually going to cut off the tail completely. You can always draw the tail back in later, but usually when I have little animals like this, I don't even bother trying to cut out the little tail because it's just one line and it drives me crazy. Okay, so this mouse was originally blowing bubbles, so you can see how he looks like he's kind of kissing something. So what you're going to do here is actually going to come down here and you're actually going to cut, cut to the nose and then you're going to cut off the bottom lip. And then you can always take a black pen in there and kind of draw the edge of his little chin if you wanted to, but I just wanted to let you know that's what I did there. And then we're going to bring this down and we're going to cut out his little foot here and bring this up. And we're going to cut out the other little foot. Okay. Once again, I've kind of cut around the black, just so you know. All right, so then we have our little mousy guy there. Okay, then also in your little tiny bag, you should have a few little things left over. And those little things are going to be the two little teardrops, which are the little bristles for the paintbrush, and then your two darker paintbrushes, as well as the little paint palette. Okay, one thing that you are going to need that I did not include in your kit here is you're gonna need a couple markers, and I would recommend maybe like a bluish marker and maybe like a yellowish marker. You could do like a green marker to make some little splatter marks on your little paint palette here, okay? I'm gonna run over and get a couple markers because I forgot to bring them with me today. Or you can use a little bit of watercolor. Actually, that would be really cute. Oh, maybe I should do that instead. Either way, you just need to put a couple of those colors onto your little paint palette. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get markers. So we're on your little paint palette here. When you're looking and the dot is on the left, on the right hand side, you're going to do two little splots of paint. So I'm just going to kind of draw like a not very good little like a little splatter. And then you can do the same thing with your kind of yellow or whatever other color you've kind of chosen here. So make it just kind of look like you've been doing some little paintings. In fact, you could add a couple little extra dots, making it look like some little splatter kind of got at hand as you were so excited to do your little painting. But again, you can use a little bit of watercolor to accomplish the same task, okay? All right, now what we're gonna do here, okay? This paper has all these different score marks on it. So the very first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna cut out all four corners, completely cut out all four corners, okay? All right, and I'm gonna make sure to give really clear instructions for putting these together because I don't want you to get frustrated or to mess up, which is what happened with one of my students in class this week. She was following along, we were doing it all together, and suddenly I looked over and she had cut out the wrong part. So I want to make sure that we are all on the same page. Luckily, the score lines really do help kind of show where you need to cut, which is really wonderful. Okay, this is the confusing part. So when you're looking at this and it's long across this way and short from top to bottom, okay, so long left to right, there are these four corners right here. Okay, and so these four sections are actually going to be tabs. So we're going to cut in from the left and from the right, and we're going to cut in here, 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 and here. Okay, I'm not going to move this while I'm cutting because I don't want it to confuse you guys. So I'm just going to trim like this. Wow, this is kind of an awkward angle. 1, 2. Oh, can I do this with my other hand? No, I cannot. I'm just going to turn this really fast. Again, it's still long across here, still long. Again, we have 1, 2 we've cut out, and now we're going to cut out the other 2. Again, I really don't want to confuse you guys because I know it can be very confusing, okay? All right, so these are the tabs that we're wanting here, okay? So again, we still have long all the way across. All right, now I'm going to show you what we're going to do here. We're going to make our little tabs a little bit more skinny. So you're going to cut, so I'm now looking at this where it's up and right in front of me, okay? So we have this up and down. I'm going to take my little scissors here and I'm going to cut in, just kind of giving it a small little angle, and this is just angling our little tab so it's a little bit easier for folding in, okay? So we have there, and then we have here, this guy, and then we're going to turn this around and we're going to do the same thing on this side and the same thing on this side. And finally here, once again, here and here. Okay. Wow, my little piece here did not cut that out very well. All right, okay. So this is what we currently have. So when it's long and skinny in front of you, you have your tab up here at the top with your 2 little tabs and your little tab down here at the bottom with your 2 little tabs here. Okay, so this is what we want at the moment. So double check that you have caught up and that this is where you are as well. Because again, I know this is confusing. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this piece, we're gonna fold this down flat. Then you're gonna pull the tab up, and this score line right here is going to match up across the top of your card. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing with this side. And the idea is you want this to kind of come down to a point, but if it doesn't, it is okay. The card will still look beautiful. Then we're going to flip this over and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to fold down, you're going to fold up, so this line is matching across the top of your card. And again, you fold this up so that score line matches at the top of your card. Okay. If you happen to have a scoring tool, you can use a scoring tool. I'm going to use the backside of my pen. I know it's an unofficial score tool, but it certainly works. Okay. Now I recommend you use glue, not tape, for this next part. So we're going to fold down this tab, and you're going to put the glue on this section here, and we're going to fold up this tab. So we're only working on one side right now, and we're going to do glue on this side here. I'm going to hold this in place, and we're going to take this little door and we're going to fold it down. So the glue is actually going to end up being right here. Fold this down flat and back like that. Okay. So when you hold that down, it's going to glue to that, and that's going to be one part of our shadow box card. We're going to do the same thing on this side. You're going to fold these down. You're going to put glue on these little tabs right here. And I recommend glue instead of tape because tape will just pull apart over time because that pressure is landing on the little tabs. Again, we're going to fold this and bring this in, and that's going to press onto that. Okay, so that's how you make that a really fun, amazing shadow box card. Once that glue is dry, you're going to pull that up, and there you have your dimensional shadow box card. Isn't that so cool? But it folds totally flat. All right, now we're going to open this up. You have this little strip in here that has some score lines on it. Okay. I know, it's really small. You're going to fold these in, all these little tabs, and this little tiny tab at the end, that's where you're going to put your glue. And you're going to stick that in place. Okay, so we are going to put like this little square kind of guy. That's what we're, or not square, he's rectangle. Little rectangle kind of a guy. Okay, I'd like to fold that flat just to make sure that it will fold flat. Okay, all right, now what we're going to do is we're going to put glue on the side and on the bottom. Okay, side and on the bottom. Side and along the bottom. Now, we're going to tuck this in, and you want to make sure it's in the middle, not too close to the top or the bottom, otherwise your card will not fold in, okay? So you're going to take this, and the glue's on the bottom and on the side, and we're going to put this right along the side here, right onto the wall, and we're going to press that with our finger down at the bottom. So we're pressing that, the side and the bottom of that little rectangle we made into the side and the bottom of the card, okay? Once that dries, you'll be able to see your card will still fold totally flat, and when you bring it up, that little square is right there, okay? Now, you're going to take one of your little paintbrushes, and you're going to take your little mouse on the back side of your little mouse arm, just like the bear. We're going to put some tape or some glue on. Then you're going to take your little paintbrush, and you're going to put it in the little mouse's hand. Now, I want to make sure that the paintbrush is not going past the floor of where the mouse is standing. So if you look at your mouse, you want the paintbrush to match up with where the bottom of the mouse is. Okay, I know this might be a little hard to see there, but hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, all right, and I'm going to glue it down a little bristle. It doesn't really matter what color bristle at this point, whatever one is left that makes the most sense for you. You can just glue the little bristle onto the top of your little paintbrush there. So cute. And then we're going to take our little mousey and we're going to put glue on the back side of him and stick him on the little tab right there. Just make him look like he's painting a little fun little splatter. Okay. All right. Then on the bottom, on the right-hand side, or I guess you could do on the left, it's really up to you, but I'm going to do mine on the right-hand side. I'm going to have my little, my palette here, and then I'm going to have my little paintbrush kind of sitting with my little palette. So you can kind of figure out how you want to arrange that. I'm going to go ahead and glue my palette down first. And then I'm going to take my little paintbrush, and I'm going to kind of glue that kind of off to the side like so. And then I'm going to take my little teardrop little bristle, and I'm going to glue that on. Okay, just like that. A little paintbrush, so cute. Isn't that so fun? Oh gosh, I love that so much. And then we have our last little bits. So this says have a colorful, and we're gonna take the word birthday, our little birthday die cut here. It's out of very lightweight gold paper. I just had a ton of the lightweight gold, so I decided to cut it out of that. And we're gonna put a tiny little bit of glue on the back side here. Boop, 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 boop. And then we're gonna lay the birthday on right here in the middle of the card. So it says have a colorful birthday. Okay. I did not add anything extra to this little piece because I was happy and I liked that it kind of framed out the really nice little sentiment and your eye was drawn towards it. But if you wanted to add some little dot groupings, you certainly can, but it's not required. Then you can take your little sentiment here and mount it onto the blue. So again, you have about 1/8 of an inch border on all 4 sides there. And then you flip this over, and on the side where it says where the B is, so on the left hand side, you're gonna be putting glue on. So when you flip this over, it'll be on the right side. You're gonna find the halfway mark and you're gonna put glue only on that one side. So it's only on this side of the sentiment. We're gonna stick that on here, lay that down, press that in place. That way your card will still fold totally flat. Whoops. But then it will land in the middle. And if you're worried, you can always close it and then put it in the middle, and it will only glue on the left-hand side, okay? All right, so fun. And then the last and final bit will be this ribbon. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna flip this over upside down. You're gonna find the top, I would say it's probably been 1 inch down from the top. You're gonna, oh, actually, just kidding. We're gonna find the middle. We're gonna find the middle of our card here. So find the middle in the back, put down some double-sided tape, then find the middle of your blue ribbon here. And we're gonna lay this on. You're gonna find the middle part and you're just gonna lay that on the card here in the back, right here. Okay, right in the middle. Just put that across. And then because the double-sided tape will hold the ribbon in place, you're gonna flip this over. And then you're gonna tie a little bow just to hold your card together and hold your card flat. Just tie a little bow there. Lay that on, and then I like to trim my little ribbons, and you can just kind of trim them with a little diagonal just to kind of make the card look a little bit more finished. Okay, and there we have card number 3. All right, friends, so that's it for this week's card class. Thank you so much. I hope you guys had fun. I'll see you guys again soon. Have a happy day. Bye-bye.